Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rose's Home Stable Renovations. Today I'm going to be picking 4 applicants and I'm going to be designing the home stable of their dreams, hopefully. If you hate it, sorry bro, I did these at like 12 a.m. so like maybe I hate it at this point. Anyways, and today's episode of Home Stable Renovations is home stables on a budget because ain't nobody got thousands of shillings to spend. So let's see how you can make a cute, fashionable home stable and not spend a lot of money. The first applicant, Anna, said, "Hi, my name's Anna and I'm homeschooling at the moment, but I promise I'm not a loser, just have raging anxiety. My favorite things at the moment are Studio Ghibli films. Arrietty, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Castle in the Sky are the top 3. Victorian fashion, my guinea pigs, very cute. Adventure time and trinkets. I do horse riding in real life and I ride a skoobled cob called Bob, who is a pain in my backside. Very stubborn but silly guy. My favorite SSO horse breed is Ardennes and favorite area in the game is Redwoods in Valedale, if that helps. Anna wants something pastel but cottagecore and slightly medieval themed. Really likes cozy vibes. For color scheme, Anna requested possibly lavender, brown, copper, silver, and also Anna likes green tones and thinks they're stunning. Anna requests that the home stable have stone wall accents like old cottage walls and flower lamps. And for the budget, it has to be under 500 star coins. Let's get started on Anna's stable. Alright, since Anna requested stone walls, I started out with that because I wanted to give it a nice cozy cottage vibe, and I picked a warmer tone of stone because that felt more cozy and warm to me. I decided to keep, for cost, the lower walls medieval and decided to brighten things up with maybe some white windows, and I warmed up the ceiling. Then for the stalls, I wanted to give it a pop of color. I know that Anna really likes the color green, so I decided to go in with some green accent colors for the stable. I felt like that also made it a little bit warmer. I did my best to match the lower walls of the home stable by using darker iron bars and then tied it in with a nice black stall gate. For cost, I did not alter the inside of the stables, and then I added some nice orchid decorations on the stall doors. I decided to keep the original beams and finished off with some silver orchid lamps. Here's the finished product. I feel like it kind of had a little bit of everything you requested. I added a pop of green and kept like the nice cottagey feel. I feel like this home stable now feels very warm and also feels a little bit stylish. The iron bars get tied in with the silver lamps. So overall, I really like how this home stable turned out. Feel free to make little tweaks if you would like, but here's what I came up with. And the total cost for this home stable is 480 star coins. And of course, I'm basing the prices off of what they already had in their home stable. Alright, the next applicant shared a little bit about themselves. They said, "My character does both English and Western. I want something that can be for either discipline, and I like mostly light colors for the stable, with a few exceptions." They requested a stable that is fancy but not too fancy. They would prefer it to be somewhat realistic, not too dark but also not super princessy. They requested a touch of green. I guess we should have released this episode on St. Patrick's Day. But they want to be surprised. They want it to be a mix of English and Western and a little bit more Western. They want a few details from the Baroque set and a touch of green, and their budget is 750 to 1000 star coins. Okay, I started out the home stable by adding a touch of green, and because they requested some Baroque elements, I decided to start with that. So I played around with making the upper walls green with some white trim, and then to give the stable a more Western feel, I added a lot of the rustic set. I added some light wood and I wanted some contrast, so I made the trim a darker wood just to give a little bit of contrast but not make it too dark as requested. For the stall doors, I decided to go with the same color palette. I added green stall door with the light wood color to tie it in. I selected a silver ornament for the stall doors to tie in kind of with the stone pillars. For the flooring, I wanted something that would match the pillars as well, just like warm it up a little bit. And then I also wanted to make it a little bit more rustic so that it wasn't too English looking, so I picked a wood pillar. For the lamps, I had selected a nice white Baroque lamps to match the trim. on the upper walls. And yeah, so here's the finished product. If you wanted to take this really to the next level, I probably would have updated the ceiling color to be probably more of like a white instead of this yellow, but for cost I kept it the same. But this stable ended up costing in total 930 star coins, so right in the budget, a little bit on the upper end of your budget, sorry, but it ended up looking pretty cute. Hopefully you like it. Okay, our third applicant gave me a little bit of a challenge. They said, my SSO name is Caroline Soundwild. Tragic case of auto-generating. The starter horse got it worse though. Cough, cough, paper tear, cough. Anyways, I go by Carrie and I ride horses IRL, currently in dressage and hunters. I am a star rider account and I am like you in the fact that I only spend star coins on horses, mostly because I can't buy star coins, so I live off my weekly star coin allowance. I might end up spending a little on my home stable if I like the customization a lot. I currently have like 12 horses, bazaars are awesome, and I love making outfits. I also co-own this dressy club, Gold Dragonflies on Chocolate Cupcake, and that's kind of it. Caroline is looking for something more English, but not very fancy. No Baroque walls. Carrie loves the brick lower walls, but is not a fan of red or multicolored ones. Carrie prefers wooden upper walls with vertical blanks, but the horizontal ones are okay as well. Carrie likes the medieval beams and Baroque anything other than the walls. Caroline prefers very basic, mostly dark gray and shavings for the stall floors. And Caroline also likes the cool pale greenish color, like the ghost color from the Moorland theme. Caroline likes white with a little bit of dark brown, and Caroline's budget is shillings only. Let's make the magic happen for Caroline. I'm excited. All right, I started off strong, trying to make as many of Caroline's requests happen as possible. So we added some medieval beams with the gray colored accents because I thought it would match the ghost set from Moorland that Caroline really likes. I played around with the walls because I know we wanted brick for the lower walls, but not the red brick and not the mixed brick. The only option that was shillings ended up being this like grayish brick, so we went with it. And then we did the upper walls vertical planks as requested, the ghost color. To give it the little pop, I made the windows white. I thought that it just looked nice and fresh and clean. And then I spent some time searching for a good gate that would go well. That was shillings only. And honestly, the best option was the Moorland stall doors. Ended up having that ghost gate color. And then I tried my best to make sure that the stall doors and the stalls matched as requested. And then like the white vertical Moorland planks for the stalls. For ornaments, as requested, we went with the silver color, but you could also do the silver horse heads as well. I just thought these looked really nice. And then we went with some orchid lamps in silver to match the brick walls. This is how the stable ended up looking. It's definitely a challenge to create a stable with a shillings only budget, but luckily many of the items you requested were shillings options. Hopefully this is something like what you were looking for. I liked the contrast of like the beachy blue and gray palette with the wood, and I tried to tie it in with the stall doors, but if you really want them to match, you could also do the white stall doors and that would be just fine. So this is what I ended up coming up with. Hopefully you enjoy. Okay, the last applicant says, hi, I'm Avinka Bravehope. I'm level 21 and own 24 horses. I am a Jorvik Ranger, a trainer, and an owner of Dreamwood Equestrian Center. I write English and Western in game and IRL. I'm an artist and photographer and lover of all animals. Avinka is not really sure what a dream home stable would look like, but does request that the stable be made up of lots of stone, like a creamy stone. Avinka wants something warm and inviting with some wood tones or just wood in general. Avinka would like to be surprised, but for favorite colors, requested green, blue, turquoise, pink, and ivory as options. Avinka requested possibly more of an English vibe, and Avinka's budget was 750 to 1,000 star coins. The first thing I did was I tried to create a good color palette. Since they said one of their favorite colors is pink, I decided to make possibly some pink accents and maybe work some green in there, since those were some of the favorite colors mentioned. I played around with how I wanted the green and pink to work together and tried to make a lot of wood. I ended up using these Moorland green bars with the white, and then I worked on the lower walls. I decided I wanted to do pink as an accent color on the walls and then make them white. Also changed the windows to be white. And then for the lamps, I made them this nice green color and then decided to bring a little bit more wood into it by making the pillars wood, this light wood color. This is what what it ended up turning out like. I tried to focus on using a lot of this nice light wood while also adding pink accents and green, since I think all of you guys requested green. I mean, green is a great color, we gotta love. If you wanted to make this more subtle, you could definitely make the stall, like the main stable doors, like a lighter color. That would be totally fine too. But here is what I came up with. Feel free to use it. The final cost of this home stable was 915 star coins. You could definitely reduce the cost by keeping the same upper walls, honestly. You could keep them white and I think it would look just as good. But here's what it ended up looking like. Hopefully you like it. Okay, that's it for the stables I'm going to be customizing for today for this video. If you guys want to apply for me to make you a custom home stable in a future video, make sure to use the link on my link tree to apply. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I'm on thin ice, you'd never guess. I've been hiding a monster, keeping it quiet. I do my best.